Let's talk about the most overlooked piece of any service call. You know what I'm talking about, the paperwork. It always feels like a chore, right? But what if I told you that a simple service report is actually one of the most powerful and profitable tools your business has? Let's get into it.
This quote right here, it just nails it. A service report isn't just a recap of a job. Think about it. It's the official record, it's your shield against disputes, and it's an absolute goldmine of business intelligence. It confirms what you did, it protects you, and it tells your team what needs to happen next. So, why do so many of us still treat it like a total afterthought?
We're calling this section the overlooked heartbeat for a really good reason. Just like a real heartbeat, a solid service report pumps vital information through every single part of your operation, from the tech in the field all the way back to the office. When it's strong and steady, your business is healthy. But when it's weak, well, that's when all the problems start to creep in. Yeah, on the surface, a service report looks like it's just for the customer, a clear record of what was done. But the real power, the hidden power, is all internal. This one little document becomes your single source of truth for everything: job costing, inventory, technician performance. You can even spot future sales opportunities in there. It's data, plain and simple, not just paperwork. So what happens when that heartbeat gets a little irregular? Well, you get chaos. And that chaos has a very, very real cost. When your reports are sloppy, inconsistent, or just incomplete, they create friction everywhere in the business. And that friction, it hits your bottom line hard. So what actually happens? Well, first, there's confusion. And that confusion almost immediately sparks disputes with your customers. Then invoicing slows down to a crawl because nobody in the office knows what to bill for. Pretty soon, you can't track recurring problems, you can't train new techs effectively. It's this whole chain reaction of inefficiency that just grinds your operations to a halt. But on the flip side, when you get reporting right, man, the payoff is huge. All of a sudden, customer disputes practically vanish. Invoices fly out the door. You can easily prove you're holding up your end of service agreements, and you start seeing patterns that help you improve training. And all of this, every single bit of it, leads directly to lower costs and a much healthier business. The payoff is absolutely real. Okay, so we've seen the problem, right? What's the solution? Well, it's not about writing longer reports. It's about writing smarter reports. And there's a really simple framework for this, a system that brings clarity and consistency every single time. It's called the TRACE framework, and trust me, it can be a total game changer. It all comes down to these 5 letters: TRACE. This isn't about asking your team to write a novel out on the job site. Nope, it's just a simple checklist to make sure they capture the 5 most critical pieces of information that tell the complete story of any job. Let's break it down. First up, T is for task. This is just what you did. And you have to be specific. Don't just write worked on unit. No, say replaced the fan motor, cleaned the condenser coils, or tested refrigerant levels. It's the actual physical action that was taken. Next, we've got R for reason. This is the why. Why did you even do that task in the first place? Was it because of a specific alarm or some kind of failure? Or was this just part of a scheduled preventative maintenance visit? The reason gives critical context to the task. A is for asset. This is the where. Which specific piece of equipment did you work on? You need the exact unit ID, the model number, its location. I mean, think about it. In a facility with dozens of identical units, this kind of precision is totally non-negotiable. It prevents so much confusion and rework down the line. Next up, and this one is so important, C is for consequence. This is the immediate result, what happened right after you performed the task. Did the alarms clear out? Did the temperature drop to the set point? This is your proof, this is your verification that the task actually worked. And finally, E is for end. This is the closing statement. What's the final status of the job? Is the issue totally resolved? Is a follow-up visit needed? Are parts on order? This is what sets expectations and clearly defines the very next step for everybody involved. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's do a little compare and contrast with some real reports and see the huge difference between a vague, useless entry and a valuable one that's built on this TRACE framework. Okay, just look at this. On the left, worked on units, all good. What on earth does that even mean? It's completely useless. But look at the right. Now that's a professional entry. It says they inspected and adjusted CRAH, that's a computer room air handler, units DH2100-5 and 6. You can see the task, the asset, and the consequence and end result. Verified operational, no alarms. It's like night and day.
Here's another perfect example. The beginner version, it's a black hole of information, but the pro version tells a complete story. Task, repaired door hinges. Reason, misalignment found during an inspection. Asset, units 07 through 09. Consequence, doors sealed properly. End status, cleared for review. Boom. Every single element of trace is right there.
Let's do it one more time. The line, "Got materials from Home Depot," tells me absolutely nothing useful. But the pro report on the right, that's a detailed, auditable record. It lists the specific assets, the reason for the work, the tasks they did, and the verification they completed. This is the kind of documentation that builds trust and stops problems before they start. Now, building these habits is the critical first step. The next step is making it easy, making it effortless. Technology doesn't just support the trace framework, it totally supercharges it. It makes consistent, high-quality reporting the path of least resistance for your whole team. Just think about it for a second. With the right software, digital templates force everyone to be consistent. Customer and asset info can be pre-filled, which saves tons of time and gets rid of typos. The second a tech hits submit, that report is instantly in the office, and everybody is synced up in real time. This isn't about replacing your techs. It's about empowering them with way better tools. And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. When you combine a powerful framework like Trace with modern technology, that service report stops being just a look back at what happened. It becomes a live feed of business intelligence. It gives you a strategic advantage right here, right now. You know, this quote really makes you stop and think. Every service report your team writes isn't just for today's invoice. It's a message. It's a message to the next technician who visits that site, to the service manager, to the customer, and even to your future self when you're trying to piece together that asset's history a year from now. So, I'll leave you with this question. If your service reports really are a conversation with the future of your business, what are they saying right now? Are they clear, professional, and valuable? Or are they just noise?